I feel like I'm actually losing my mind and can't continue on.
Oh my gosh!
Hard fall in the hospital. Hello vlog, it is Monday the 24th, something like that. I have that autonomic testing today, and then we have an appointment with the autonomic specialist. I probably look like terrible right now because I've spent the last 7.5 hours trying to sleep. I say trying because I was not successful. I'm not going to say that too loudly because Zeus is up now and we need to leave in like an hour. But I don't know, I just couldn't sleep last night because, or I guess it's still the nighttime. I don't know. My mind is just going crazy. And like, I know this is not where my head should be right now, but it just is how it is. And I was telling one of my friends on Instagram about how right now I'm in like the worst place I've ever been mentally, but also the best place I've ever been mentally at the same time. And it's a really like odd predicament to have, to be feeling like that, because oh my gosh, like half of my face really isn't moving very well today. So we're gonna have a great day. Like I'm in the best place mentally because like as much hope and everything that I have like on that part of my mind, like I'm hopeful for that they're actually going to be able to help me. Not necessarily this doctor today, but we have, I don't know if I said that we are getting a upright MRI scheduled soon, and like we found one on Friday that we were able to get things faxed over to, and then they have to get it cleared by insurance and everything, and then we will have that scheduled, and we'll see if that shows anything. And if not, we have some plans, well, not like concrete plans, but some ideas of what we're going to do next if they can't do anything, because things aren't going well. Where's my symptom book's over here. Let's see. In the past 2 days, my head has been around at 8-9, which obviously I haven't been on any pain meds for days now. My back's been like a 7-8, which that's not that bad. Right hand is now down to 25%. Left hand is down to 65%. Right arm is giving out. The hands have been super sweaty. I had 5 super heart falls yesterday, or 2 days ago now. Food is now going into my nose again, and I'm choking when I swallow. I'm super dizzy and hot all the time. It's just a really not great situation. But like, as much as that's going bad, somehow part of me is like holding on to hope and like feels like everything is gonna be fine, and like, I don't know. And then the other part of me, the part that like, I don't know, I talk to you guys more when I feel like that. Part of me that has panic attacks and like cries all the time and is like freaking out. That like the other part of me is like, what if they can't help you? Like, what if this is a lost cause and I'm just slowly going to like shrivel away to nothing? Yeah, so like, I don't know, I'm not gonna go too much into detail about that right now because I kind of need to be in a better headspace today than I have been in a while, because today, testing, I hate testing. Any kind of testing is just terrible. And like, I know the testing isn't going well. I don't know for sure that it's not going to be terrible, but just like any type of testing going into it, I just feel like I want to scream and run as fast as I can away from it. And then we have the appointment with the doctor afterwards, and whenever we have testing and a doctor's appointment the same day, I'm really just an emotional like basket case by the time we get to the doctor's appointment, because I'm tired and run down. And I don't know, but I'm gonna text one of my cousins that lives over there and see if maybe we will go out to lunch slash later afterwards, because I don't know what time this appointment's gonna be over. I know the testing's gonna be like 2 to 2.5 hours, and then the appointment's right afterwards, so I don't even know if we're gonna have to leave and then come back, or if he's just gonna do it in the room, but whatever. That's happening today. I haven't slept, and I don't know what it is like about it. Like, last night I was just thinking a lot, and like I would start to fall asleep and then my mind would start going again. Like, I know that's not a good thing, but it happens every once in a while. And yesterday I slept until 11. I slept probably like 13 hours, and then I didn't get out of my bed and like leave my room until like 2. So it all evens out, and I was laying there with my eyes closed, so I guess I consider that sleeping, but it really wasn't sleeping. And I guess I was resting, so it's fine. So I will see you guys in the car, I think. I don't know. I had actual thoughts that I was going to talk about right now, but obviously I have since forgotten what I was actually going to say, and I should start getting ready to go, because I don't actually know what time it is, and we need to leave at 6. So bye. See you in the car, or when we get there, or whatever. We're dressed now. This is one of the outfits I got for my birthday. Ready? And then the little blue shorts. I remembered one of the things that I was gonna say earlier, or that I was thinking about last night. I don't know how today's appointment's gonna go. And the past few appointments, I've been kind of like freaking out after the appointment, whether it's a good appointment or a bad appointment. So I'm probably going to have at least one like meltdown-ish type situation today, and I don't know what the problem is. Like, yeah, I know I'm not going to handle it well if they can't help. Like, not today, but like, because today I'm not going into it, well, I mean, last time I wasn't going into it expecting them to be able to help me either, but I don't know, like, I try not to go into it with the expectation of them actually being able to help, but it's kind of hard to do that given that they are doctors and there is something obviously wrong with whatever is happening to my body. Just thinking about it kind of makes me feel like I'm gonna like freak out, because I don't know, like, I think I've reached a point in time where things have to start moving towards actually being helpful and getting better, because I don't know how much of more decline I can take mentally before I feel like I'm actually losing my mind and can't continue on, like, mentally. I can't physically, like, just, because there's only so far you can, like, push your body, like, mentally be like, you're, like, there's no choice, you have to do it, before, like, you just can't anymore. And I feel like I'm kind of reaching that spot. I'm trying not to let myself think about that. I know, I definitely should not have prefaced this whole video, or today's whole, vlog with this, but that's what it is. And I'm scared, and I know I have good reason to be scared about what's going on right now, but like, when I say that this hand has like 25% hand, like, or 25% function, like, I can move it like this and like this, but like picking things up, holding things, opening doors, writing, you know, doing things that you kind of have to do in everyday life, like opening caps. I can't open my deodorant anymore. I can't brush my teeth anymore. There are things that, like, kind of just do as a human, and my body no longer, or my hands no longer can coordinate to do them. And then also, like, the past few days I've been super nauseous, which obviously, like, I'm not on my pain meds and stuff, so that's probably contributing to the nauseousness the past few days. But also for like I'd say a week now, I've been having this weird gagging thing where anytime I swallow, it feels like I'm gonna gag, or I want to gag, and sometimes I just let myself, and like it's just like retching and gagging, and like it's not, my body can't coordinate well enough to like vomit from the gagging, if that makes sense. Like when I throw up, I'm like the exorcist. I just like open my mouth and it just starts coming out. So that's how that is. And I don't know, like the gagging thing. And then every time I swallow, it feels like the back of my head is being pinched. That's a thing that I used to have, and it went away. It's been about 6 months since it's been around, so I don't know. I'm trying, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this, but my face muscles, it feels like I have to work like 100 times harder on this side of my face than this side today. Which I don't know why that would be, because usually that only happens when I sleep, like in a funny head position. But I wasn't asleep last night, so I don't know what happened. Okay, now I think she'll probably be done with her breakfast now, so then she can help me brush my teeth and everything. Hello, vlog. We're talking, and you're in the backpack again. See, because, you know, being awkward in a waiting room, and we are really early because the appointment's not till 10. Oh, I guess it's 10:30, so we're not that early anymore. Oh, I mean 9:30, and yeah, I feel better than I did in the car, because when we were going through the mountains, I thought I was gonna die, because it felt like my brain was being mushed by my skull, like it was closing in on me. And then I started feeling all gaggy, and then I was trying to fall asleep. Did I end up falling asleep? Hello? Oh, I did. So I did sleep at some point. Better than last night. And my head still hurts though, but not as much. Although my walking's really bad. And I hope I don't fall in this building, because that would be awkward. Hello, vlog. I was during the, okay, so the testing, she didn't take any pictures because you're not supposed to take pictures in that room, and
they didn't let me in.
Yeah, they didn't let her in anyway. But the testing wasn't, well, I mean, if I never have to do that test again in my life, I won't care, because like it's not one that I would want to do again. I mean, who wants to do testing again? You know what I mean? But testing was fine. Apparently my sweat test is abnormal in the opposite direction of what they expect to see as abnormal. So I am abnormally abnormal. Because apparently an abnormal sweat test, usually people would not sweat, and I was like dripping sweat. Like, no joke, the people probably were like, what's wrong with this girl? Cause like, oh, good thing I didn't wear a shirt that you could tell, but like, no joke, what's that called, like the elastic band of my bra is soaking wet right now. Like, if I took it off, I could probably wring it out. It's that much. And that was already over an hour ago, and so a lot of it has evaporated off. And then they did the no, that was like the electrocution test, was that. Although they did everything on my right side, and as they're hooking me up, I was like, oh, by the way, I should probably warn you, I can't feel my right side very well. She asked the girl who was training her if they should be doing it on the left side since I can't feel the right side, and she was like, no, it'll be fine. So, because there's not like broken bones or anything, there's just, you know, wrist brace, because otherwise my hand likes to sit like this. Which then they put my hand on this like hot towel during all the other tests, because my skin on my hands was so cold and so sweaty that the blood pressure monitor and the heart rate monitor weren't even working. They were just showing flat lines, and they were already hooked up to my bod. So and I was hooked up, then I was put on like the hot towel thing, which didn't help the sweating any. And long story short, or short story long, where's those papers that you wrote on?
They're in the back.
I threw my snake back there. So I'm going to be starting super low dose propranolol, whatever. Propranolol. My cardiovascular reflexes are intact, but they're like extra.
Your medicine's already there.
They're extra. You know, just like the rest of my life is extra. My my cardiovascular reflexes are extra, so I get the blood pressure drop when I stand, or the heart rate drop, something like that, whatever. Something drops when I stand up, and then it should just shoot up to normal, and like a normal person would just shoot up to normal and then like be fine. But my bod's like, nah, let's go extra high. They had to leave the timer on because my blood pressure and my heart rate or whatever was staying up for like 5 minutes, and it was just like hanging out extra high and then went back to normal. So my things are just extra. So I don't have POTS like everybody was thinking I did. Headache clinic, pain clinic, neurosurgery. Everybody was like, you have POTS, go to Autonomics. But I don't. And then
you do have weird.
I have weird, but not weird that has a name.
Yeah, he can't even.
He was just kind. Well, I could kind of tell that there was something wrong and not what he was expecting to be wrong. When he came in, like before they came and got you, he was in there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Clicking around on the computer with it looked like this. And I was like, oh my gosh. Either there's nothing wrong and my bod's just acting like a wacko, or there's something wrong and he has no idea what's happening. So that's sort of it. So we see, oh, and I also did the blowing test, which that's not what it's called. It's called a Valsalva test, which made my headache so much worse because we already know my headache is triggered by Valsalva maneuvers, which is like coughing, sneezing, pooping. That's what that's called. But I don't have that problem with pooping, so but that's a topic for another situation, or a situation for another time, whatever. So I'll be starting the propranolol, whatever it's called. But then so that is supposed to reduce my heart rate and maybe like help stabilize the extraness of my heart rate or my blood pressure or whatever it was. I can't even remember anymore. Heart rate.
Is to keep it low.
And then, but we have to watch out for it plummeting my blood pressure. And if it affects my brain too much, apparently I could get more fatigue than I already have, which I don't see how that's possible. So does that mean that I'll be like in a coma or something? Yeah, so that's all about the testing.
Oh wait.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, Waity. Dad and I went into that parking lot after we saw him last, when I was having an absolute like freak out. I think I was also wearing this jacket that same time too. Remember when I was just like freaking out and crying and like I didn't know why, because it wasn't like we got bad news or good news. Kind of was feeling that way because he was saying that seemed like it was a pain problem, and then pain clinic was like, nah, this is an autonomic problem. So then I was like, well shoot, nobody's gonna do anything again. But we're trying something, and if it doesn't work, then in 3 months we have a follow-up with him. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Whatever. But anyways, in 3 months we have a follow-up with him to, I don't know, talk about the whole dizziness situation. I think the whole reason why we're even doing the the medication is because we're like he kind of had to just ask more about the symptoms. But anyways, now for the good part, the part where why I was laughing.
Oh God.
So we were lost in this building. So she went and asked a girl in a room, because she was just like typing on a computer in there. Obviously she worked there. And we're like, how do we get out of this building? So then she just told us to go to the other end of the hallway and turn right. Well, you know how my left foot is kind of floppy these days? And I fall hard frequently? That happened. Really hard.
I'm really loud.
It was on tile. on tile in quite a while. And I don't know if you can see on camera, my knees, they're quite red now, and yeah, it was quite loud and quite hard. I basically just tripped on my foot, but you know how I don't know that I'm falling until I've hit the ground? It sounded like, and then, but I fell right outside of
But it was louder.
I fell right outside of the lab, and it was my whole body hitting the ground. Like, I guess it's a good thing I don't have the reflex to like stick out my arms, because then I would break my arm or something as I'm falling. So I just fall like literally like a tree, like my whole chest and everything just, and then the collar also hit the ground, so it sounds like, it was just bad. And so I fell right outside the lab on that floor, and all the people in the lab, their faces went from to. And then the girl that was drawing labs basically like dropped what she was doing and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, but let's go." Like, let's get out of here. It was so awkward because everybody started staring. Do you know how much I get stared at in general? So, hard fall in the hospital or in the clinic. This is the first time I think that that's actually happened in a clinic setting, so I don't know who we're supposed to talk to about my new foot issue, because
I don't either.
Neurosurgery obviously saw it, but that's not really like their deal. Preventing the falls. Their deal is fixing the problem surgically in your head if they need to, but they can't see anything in my head, so I'm just falling and have floppy feet for no apparent reason.
Do we talk to,
like, do we talk to my primary doctor, who I technically don't have one for the next few months?
No, you have your old pediatrician until,
yeah, but
old pediatrician.
Yeah, my old pediatrician, but he's also the one that said that my weight loss was completely fine. And then the next appointment is when I saw my other pediatrician, and she sent me to the hospital. So I don't know how much
and you remember bad issues well.
I'm gonna go with his opinion on this situation. Also, we kind of have an odd situation with that, because I remind him of a combination of him and his wife. Just get that through your head first off. So I always have to get blood work done every time I see him, because his wife has a blood cancer, and he always thinks that I do too, because I remind him of her so much. And then he also says that I remind him of himself, because he, I think, has an autoimmune problem.
The lady behind us almost rear-ended us.
I know, I saw that in the mirror. So we are headed to Gilroy now, and the nice thing about this doctor was, since my testing went short, because the two people that are having me do it, they didn't want to torture me, because my all the tests were causing the sweatiness, and I was like really dizzy. And I think they did see my eye twitchy thing too, because for some reason, when I've noticed it a lot more when my headache gets worse, or when I'm on medications that can cause seizures, which I'm not on any right now, that my eye twitchy thing happens. And so I was doing the blow test, where you blow through this tube, but first off, my lungs aren't strong enough to do the blowing test. So you're supposed to blow to the 40. The hardest I could blow was to the 30, and then I can't maintain a steady stream of air, because my chest muscles are too twitchy. And so the thing was like, yeah, so we're going to Gilroy, and my dad's calling, so see you later, bye.